Hey, it's the Rican. And, if you don't think that we're like in some sort of new age civil war or, cold civil war, or like I've said, cultural, we're in a cultural revolution, look no further today than what the New York Times posted today. And here's the article. Redesigning America's flag. Okay. Granted, our flag is it's not that much, it's not that old because they've had to add the stars because of the two states that were added in 19 in the mid 1900s in the 2000s. So but if this is now, when I say that, i'm not trying to push I'm not trying to make things worse. I'm just showing that how the left loves to say that, oh, no, 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 we do love our country. We just want, no, you don't love when you don't love something and then want to change it completely, because that's not love. Okay. That's being controlling. And that's what the left are. The left are authoritarians. They don't want you to be, they don't want you to be free. They want to be in control. And here's a, that's not one. I think that's the, no, this might be, this might be one of the designs. But here's some of the for sure designs. Here's one of them. It's hideous. Here it's saying it's supposed to, our past, our future, untapped potential, repairing systemic racism, and taking care of our planet. So basically, everything the left thinks about our country, nothing. And here's the stripes: fear, forgiveness, anger, joy, pride. Okay. Here's a reimagined Stars and Stripes. I think it's hideous. It goes here, yeah, graphic design or impulses to work with graphics and see how small moves can make a big change. We decided to work it with, it's ugly. Here is another concept, 2x4. For nearly 250 years, the American flag has been made and remade, evolving from a unifying emblem into complex, contested vocabulary of symbols. In this flag, the familiar symbolism falls out of focus, giving way to something ambiguous, vague, and difficult to define. Just how the left views gender. This one's, the colors of our flags are intended to stand for unity, valor, and justice. The gray monochrome flag represents America's surrendering to its fall from power and loss of ideals it once stood for. This is the irony. We're not falling from the ideals. You guys are pushing us off the cliff. You guys want to take away the freedoms that we have. Oh my God, this is one of the worst. And I don't care that it has the Gadsden flag and as Black Lives Matter. But it's called Lift Every Voice and Sing. Black Lives Matter, Don't Tread on Me, and God We Trust, a thin blue line. Under guard, our vindicator. I don't even know what. Keep America Great, Progress Pride. It's a hot mess. That's what that is. This is the worst, okay? Because you see how it's changing? That's exactly, how the hell do you make it's like, okay, we're going to make every flag digital, because that's what it is. And the flag in its current state is a static representation of the country today. I transformed the flag into an interactive, moving digital flag that mirrors our overall sentiment through the lens of the Declaration of Independence, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These values should be determined by relevant collected data and can transform given over any given period. This one, of all the kind of the ones, I gotta say, this is the only one that kind of made sense to me. I still don't like it, but the American flag was once a unifying symbol. It should still be a unifying symbol. The problem is, you people on the left don't love our country, so you hate our symbols. That's why you burn it. It's red, white, and blue belong to everyone, but now red and blue are tribal signals, and the flag seems to represent two factions forced to share a piece of fabric. By running a single purple bar across the middle, this flag reminds all of us of the constant potential and possibility inherent in America when red and blue cross together as one. Look, this here is, like I said, the left, they say they love this country and they don't. And I'm repeating myself because, like, I always point to when Obama said we're going to fundamentally transform this country, which what, 12 years later, he wasn't lying. And the way the left have gone is this whole thing about this flag and it dividing us. The left need the division. They want the division. It helps them get into power, because how do they do it? They tell black people, white people, white people don't like you, systemic racism. They tell Latinos the same thing. And they use that division for power, because they don't do anything about it. They've been part of the system. If we have systemic racism in this country, the Democrats are part of it. This wasn't a Republican created issue. So they're kind of like the same thing with the screw up in Afghanistan. Yeah, Biden screwed up the exit. Okay, but it took Republicans and Democrats all these years to screw up our plan there of how to grow, nation builds, and how to end up getting an exit strategy. It was all screwed up. So it takes all these people or both parties to screw up. That's why, you got people like me, like I'm like, I don't consider myself a conservative. I consider myself more libertarian. I'll caucus with the conservatives. It's because if I have more in line with the conservative and the Republicans than I do with this new crazy far Democratic left. Saying where men are women and women are men just because you identify it, saying that you could give birth to 9 months. This you could abort up to 9 months. Saying men have periods. This whole push to socialism, wanting to like Biden said that a $3.5 trillion spending bill costs $0 because they're going to pay for it. That's like putting something on your credit card. It's not going to cost me anything because I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to pay for it later anyway. That's stupid. And people, the fact that fact checkers, you want to talk about the bullshit of fact checkers? Where's the fact check on that? It should be huge lie. Where is they're saying the daily Biden lying counter? But this is what the media did to get you people to hate Trump. His lie counter, because he's a businessman. He exaggerates, so he lied a lot, which were just exaggerations. This man Biden lies a lot. No fact checkers, because fact checking is bias. And that's what's going on, where we're divided because we can't agree on common ground. We're divided everywhere. So that's why when I say we're in a cold civil war, or more likely we're in the middle of the Cultural Revolution like they did in China in the 1960s with the color revolution. Because what are we trying to do? We're trying to get rid. Like I said, you look up the four olds. If you haven't seen my video on the four olds, you should. You could go and check Rumble or YouTube for it. But the four, that's what they're trying to do: get rid of our culture, trying to change the culture, trying to change our values, trying to change our system, our economic system, our governmental system. The left are going to, here's the whole thing: if the right wins and we win power, guess what? You could go, people go, guess what? Abortion should be a states' right issue. If you want an abortion, you could go to a state that allows it or get legislation passed. But if you can't get the legislation passed, you can't just have the Supreme Court's not there to make laws. And they just deemed that abortion was constitutional in the sense that you could, it took it away from a state's issue and made it a national issue. But you should still have to pass a law for that. If you are going to, if we're going to keep together as a country, we have to agree on things. And right now, we're not. Like I said, culturally, economically, governmental wise, we're not letting being okay with the president decreeing stuff like he's the king is ridiculous. That we allow this stuff, executive orders, these bills where they're passing where it's 4,000 or 5,000 pages when a bill shouldn't be. It shouldn't take a bunch of lawyers to be able to read through a bill. It should not. And that's how they've been getting away with stuff. And it's both parties. That's why I say I'm not, I will caucus with the Republicans when I agree with them and the Democrats when I do, because I'm more libertarian. And, we need to stop this. And right now, the Democrats are going crazy, going far. They need to learn a lesson, and they're not. So 2022, 2024, hopefully they'll learn it. If not, then this cold civil war, this cultural revolution could become a hot war. And I don't want that either. So anyways, let me know what you think. I'm the Reimagine. You can follow me here on YouTube and Rumble. You can interact with me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Gab, and Telegram. That being said, have a good one, everyone.